and welcome to SA Weekender. It's wonderful to have your company. Well, today I'm going to show you some unique and wonderful spots to stay right across our state. But first, let's check in with the team and see what they're up to.
Ron heads to the southern Flinders town of Melrose for some two-wheeling fun.
With the e-bike, you can cheat a little. In fact, you can cheat a lot.
Callum learns some clever baking secrets from those in the know.
You can't beat a hot scone.
But first, here's Michael.
Well, spring is certainly in the air. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and here at this private garden called Estella, the plants are blooming. Like behind me, the 80-year-old beautiful wisteria. But there's more around the back, so come with me and we'll have a real good sticky beat. I always learn something poking around other people's gardens, and this one in Myrtle Bank is full of surprises. Homeowner Robin Clapham is a retired garden designer and has done an incredible job. In keeping with her Spanish mission-style home, most of the plants are Mediterranean, perfect for our dry summers. Dividing the garden into zones, she has ornamental plants on one side and a staggering 36 fruit trees on the other. Oh, beautiful, aren't they? Yummy.
Oh,
There's alone.
can. Makes beautiful marmalade.
I can imagine. Led by her schnauzer Hugo, we weave our way around a series of winding pathways made of recycled bricks.
With curves, you create more space, really, because you've got more angles, and with curving hedges, you can divide the garden just as easily as straight, but it's a more relaxed and, I think, friendly finish.
But the highlight has to be this gorgeous, enormous pond. Complete with fountain, fish and resident turtle, it used to have another life as a swimming pool.
It was a very large swimming pool, which wasn't managed and didn't look good. It was a waste of water, costly chemicals, power bill up the roof. And I just said to the kids, well, either you look after it or I'll fill it in.
No prizes for guessing, no one put their hands up. So fill it in she did. And it went from being a headache into a serene place of relaxation. What sort of plants have you got in here? They're beautiful.
Water lilies, irises, watercress, milfoil, which the fish and everything loves. You actually need a good covering of plants, and then you need to have the water aerated, and I was able to reuse the swimming pool pump.
Absolutely ingenious. Robin's Pond has got me inspired, so I've headed to Garden Grove Supplies for a fun little project. Now, it's not everyone that has a disused swimming pool they can convert into a pond like Robin has, but there's no reason why you can't have a pond of some description, a pond in a pot, so to speak, and I'm going to show you how to do it. There's just so many pond-like pots that you could use, and out here at Garden Grove they've got a great selection. I've selected one that's about 400 millimetres. It's a good average size pot. I could grow some water lilies in that, but if you're serious about growing water lilies, maybe the next size up. I've selected the salt and pepper gravel and I've put that in the bottom. So we've talked about water lilies, so I'm going to put that in first. We'll put that around like that. Now I'm going to put this sedge in here like so, on a bit of an angle, and this one put in here like so. We'll top it up with water, gently of course. That's about right. Just do a final adjustment. Don't put any fish or snails or anything living for at least a week until the chlorine is dissipated from the water. Now, it's ongoing care with a pot. They take a while to settle down and fill out, but in the meanwhile, you've got to keep topping it up with water. And it's not a bad idea to have a bucket of water close by, so the chlorine's gone from that water and you can tip it in and you won't disturb any of the fish, etc. And apart from that, there are products you can use to keep your pond nice and clean. But gee whiz, just looking at this, I've got this sense of serenity around me already. If you want to create your own pond in a pot, just head to your local nursery for supplies. They are perfect for small spaces like balconies, and are a true mini oasis.
Coming up, the secret to a good scone.
Growing up, we all have fond memories of baking and the role that it plays in celebrating special occasions and getting together with family and friends. So today, I'm going to meet a group of ladies who are well and truly keeping that tradition alive.
The South Australian Country Women's Association, or the SACWA as it's known, started in South Australia back in 1929, and next year will celebrate its 90th anniversary. In a case of everything old is new again, I've enlisted SACWA Stirling members Jenny and Emma to run me through some traditional baking basics.
I have to say, I'm super excited about this. They do look deceptively simple, but they can be tricky to get right. Scones. And I reckon I'm in pretty safe hands. What's the first thing we do to make the perfect scone?
We say a prayer.
Just hope for the best.
Not asking much. We use sifted flour. This one has a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of salt.
Jenny then adds 1.25 cups of milk and 2 tablespoons of rich cream, which helps to soften the texture.
You just started to bring it together.
You want to be really gentle here. Just bringing the mixture together is key.
I've seen lemonade in scone recipes. Have you tried that one before?
I have used it. In fact, my husband makes a good batch of those.
Okay.
But this hasn't got sugar in it. I don't like scones, personally, with too much sugar because then I like to put jam and cream on it.
Yeah, beautiful. That's where the sweetness is coming from.
Yeah.
The SACWA teamed up with local business Lauki to produce their scone mix. All you have to do is add water, mix and bake. It couldn't be easier. And once you've mastered the basics, you can start getting creative.
Because you've had some award-winning savoury scones, haven't you?
Yes, I have. My award-winning scones were using the Lauki scone mix with Barossa Fine Foods bacon and Utter Delights cheese and sparkling water.
Awesome. Well, keeping the locals happy. That helps the judges, I'm sure, as well.
Now, I've had my fair share of culinary critiques over the years, but the cooking competitions at the Royal Adelaide and country shows are next level.
Last year, my gluten-free cake was disqualified because I didn't include a copy of the recipe.
It was probably delicious. They wanted to make the cake themselves. That's why they wanted the recipe.
It was stunning. It was absolutely stunning. It's a bit sad, but thanks to Emma's mistake, I got a third. Thank you, Emma.
Sabotage. Just sneak that recipe away and the medals, here we come.
After a quick glaze, it's into a hot oven for about 10 minutes. But it's not just about baking. The SACWA has something to offer all women, regardless of their age or interests. A recent resurgence in popularity has seen a new generation of women signing up, like 23-year-old Alice.
Well, our meetings are probably a little bit different. We meet at the pub. And we often have a glass of wine, and sometimes we have people visit us. We had someone visit us doing a really big walk through Spain, which was fascinating.
What would you say to someone who's thinking about joining up to the SACWA?
I would say just give it a go, just turn up to a meeting, and you never know who you're going to meet. You might meet someone you already know or some lovely ladies. Everyone's really warm and welcoming and friendly, and you can learn something that could be your greatest new passion.
With the smell of freshly cooked scones wafting through the air, it's time to see if they're ready.
Really lovely and light. Nice kind of crustiness on them. You can't beat a hot scone. Apparently I can't eat a hot scone either. This is delicious, but it's not just about baking the CWA, is it?
Oh no, not in the slightest. Well, certainly not just scone baking. I mean, you can see the other stuff on the table as well. But also, it's primarily about friendship, not just cooking. It might be craft things, it might be visiting a local chocolate shop, which we did last month, which was lots of fun.
You can get behind the SACWA by buying their Lauki scone mix or by ordering a copy of their calendar of cakes from their website. It's packed with simple recipes passed down through generations and just like Nana used to make, because good taste never goes out of style.
After the break, unforgettable stays in SA.
There's something really special about staying in someone else's home as opposed to a standard hotel room. So today, I've trawled through Airbnb to find some of South Australia's more unique and memorable listings, places where you can really immerse yourself in the experience whilst enjoying all the comforts of home.
From the sea to the bush and the vines, SA boasts a huge variety of amazing landscapes and locations. All you need to do is choose. Fancy something by the river? It doesn't get any closer than The Cube. Located near Murray Bridge, this stylish eco-pod literally floats on top of the water. A former shipping container, it really packs a punch for its size. Inside, a comfortable living area on one side and kitchenette and bedroom on the other. The water is so close, I think you could almost dip your toe in it from bed. My next top Airbnb pick is just an hour's drive from Adelaide on the Fleurieu Peninsula. Sitting right in the middle of a vineyard amongst soaring gum trees is the Sellicks Chills Vineyard Retreats. It's what the owners like to call an architecturally designed treehouse for adults. 2 stories high, this property truly makes the most of its spectacular views. Large windows grace the living area on the upper level, as well as the kitchen and bedrooms.
What I love about this place is the seclusion set right amongst the vines. It's the perfect spot to escape the hustle and bustle of the city.
Just 10 minutes to McLaren Vale and 2 minutes to the beach, it's not hard to see why people come from as far away as Europe to enjoy its charms. Queen of the 5-star reviews, Susie loves to share her part of the world.
I think they like to come because it's so private and so quiet. We're only 2 kilometres from the sea, so they can go to the beach, come back, go wine tasting, come back and just relax completely. Lots of 5-star reviews. We're super hosts, so that's really good. Yeah.
But if city living is more your style, I've got just the place. Within the grounds of a gracious mansion in Malvern is a large studio apartment called the Cremorne Coach House. Open plan, it features high ceilings and 2 luxurious queen-size canopy beds. With a tasteful mix of contemporary and antique furniture, art and decor, it oozes style. And it's not surprising considering who decorated it.
There's so many beautiful touches in this space. Obviously, you put a lot of thought into it.
Thanks, Alana. I decorate houses for a living. We've got a retail shop, One Rundle Trading Company in Dulwich. So I had lots to draw on. I wanted the interior to feel like an Australian safari.
To maximise space, Josephine has cleverly hidden the washing up, cooking and laundry areas behind cabinet doors. And with trendy King William Road and the city just a short stroll away, it's just so convenient.
We used Airbnb on some family holidays in Europe and loved the concept of being close to the action. It just feels a lot more interesting and much warmer than being in a hotel. So we thought, why not offer that in Adelaide, where there's so much to enjoy as a guest in this state.
Well, there you have it. Just a few amazing Airbnb stays that have caught my eye. And of course, the great thing about it is that these places are constantly popping up online, so potentially an endless supply. Of course, if you know of any other great stays, be sure to let us know. Visit our Facebook page and share the love.
Next, why Melrose is a mecca for mountain biking.
Melrose, it's a pretty little town about 3 hours drive north of Adelaide. In recent years, the town's embraced 2-wheel travel in a big way, thanks to the passion of Richard Bruce at his Over the Edge cycle shop. This former Kiwi's determined to convert more Aussies to the joys of mountain biking.
Mountain biking's going well.
Yeah, it's $7,000 a pop.
Yeah.
Yes, the e-bike with its electric motor is the easy option for lazy sods like me wanting to explore the growing network of bike trails built by Richard and fellow enthusiasts Kristen and Don Norton. But before going off-road, there are a few heritage gems to explore, like the old Jacker Brothers Brewery.
The old brewery, which has just been bought by a fella from down the York Peninsula, and he's going to turn it back into a brewery, but mainly an event centre as well.
It was built as a flour mill in 1877 and then sold to William and Joseph Jacker in the 1890s. The brewery closed in the Great Depression, but now there's a real buzz about plans to turn this into a major mid-north tourism complex. Earlier this year, it was one of the hubs for the Melrose Fat Tyre Festival.
You've got 2 or 3 days of riding here, from intermediate to advanced riding. Probably got 50 kilometres plus of good single track trail, which is what all the mountain bikers want, and then fire roads and rail trail for less advanced.
An expanding network of specially built cycling paths has brought a peloton of pedal-powered visitors to Melrose in recent years. Soon we're on our way, onto a track which skirts Mount Creek and is constantly in the shadow of Mount Remarkable. My little cycling sojourn today is fairly forgiving, but Richard and his buddies live for the killer kamikaze runs, many of which they've built themselves.
So Rich, the thing I love is that you really incorporate whatever's around.
Yeah, something that is in the trail becomes the best trail feature. And a lot of the trails are named after particular features. So this one that we're on is dodging bullets because of the old rifle range that we ride on.
Here, Rich and Don let fly. Riders and machine working as one in country that's forever changing. The old deadly treadlies come a long way from the clunker I used to ride at school. I wish back then they'd invented some of the machinery Richard regularly hires out to the cycling set. There's an old saying in this caper, the best trail is the next trail. And here at Melrose in the Southern Flinders Ranges, you are spoilt for choice. And with the e-bike, you can cheat a little. In fact, you can cheat a lot. In the back valleys around Melrose, the intrepid peddler comes across a few secret gems, like Bardagunya Estate. Here, cyclists can sip a Shiraz or two.
These vines were planted in about 2004. Our first lot of vines went in at 97, and our first vintage was 2000, and that was all Shiraz. So.
Many Adelaideans that have no idea that there are vines here in the Southern Flinders.
Well, they should get up here and have a look, you know?
Yeah, jump on the bike.
Southern Flinders has got a lot to offer.
The rustic and unhurried appeal of the Southern Flinders certainly played a part in Don Norton's tree change several years ago. Here at Under the Mount, this former cabinet maker's built a cyclist retreat for those who've enjoyed a long day in the saddle.
You know, our kids are left home, what can we do? Let's do something different, something that we're a bit passionate about, and not chase the dollar anymore, just come up and try and live a comfortable life and do something we enjoy doing. So guided rides, for example, taking people out for a ride, showing them some country that we really love.
What is it about cycling?
I guess the fresh air, at the end of the day, earning a beer, feeling like you can eat a schnitzel at the local hotel because you've done the exercise, a whole host of things.
A guilt-free schnitty sounds great, but I must confess to lazing around on the e-bike all day. It's just one of many inexpensive options available from Over the Edge at Melrose. And for accommodation, why not try Under the Mount on the outskirts of town?
Well, that's just about all we've got time for today, but it's been wonderful to have your company. And of course, if you've got any questions on anything you've seen today, be sure to visit our website or connect with us on social media. Until next time, it's bye for now.